Okay, so xt comes to 0.522. Now, so PE1 is equals to E prime 1.2 into V is equals to 1 divided by xt is 0.522 into sine delta. So which comes to the pre-fault or before fault power angle equation PE1 is equals to 2.3 sine delta. So power angle equation before fault condition. Now in case of during fault condition, the fault is taking place at the bus position. So the net active power flow from the generator to the infinite bus system is 0. So under this condition PE2 is 0. So the active power flow from the generator to infinite bus system during fault condition is PE2 is equals to 0. So you can also see from the equivalent circuit diagram, this is machine, transformer, 2 transmission lines, and this is another transformer, and this is infinite system, and at this bus we had a fault. So due to this fault they two get isolated and they are separated. So we have the power flow from this end to this end is 0. Now coming to the post fault condition. Now it is said that the faulted line is opened by opening the circuit breakers. This line is entirely opened by the opening of the circuit breakers. So now the power angle equation PE3 is given by E prime V by transfer reactance into sine delta. Now under this condition the transfer reactance is 0.25 plus 0.5 plus 0.05. So this comes to 0.8. So PE3 is equals to 1.2 into 1 divided by 0.8 into sine delta, which comes to 1.5 sine delta. So the post fault power angle equation is 1.5 sine delta. Now once we know all the three power angle equations before fault, during fault and post fault condition, let us draw the power angle equations to determine the critical clearing angle. So this is the pre-fault power angle equation, which is given by 2.5 sine delta, and this is given by the post fault power angle equation, which is 1.5 sine delta, and the during fault power angle equation is PE2 is equals to 0 because the fault is taking place at the bus. Now initially the machine is delivering 1 per unit power to the infinite bus system. So the initial operating point is at this point, which can be calculated by substituting in the initial power angle equation, that is PE1 is equals to 2.3 sine delta naught is equals to 1. So from this you can calculate initial power angle delta naught is equals to sine inverse 1 by 2.3, which comes to 25.8 degrees or 0.45 radians, this angle. Now initially machine is delivering 1 per unit power to infinite bus system, and it is operating at the initial load angle delta naught is equals to 25.8 degrees. But as and when the fault is taking place at the bus, the power output reduces to 0. The power output reduces to 0 suddenly and this creates a net accelerating power PA is equals to 1 per unit, because PA is equals to PM minus PE, and PM is initially 1 per unit and PE is going to 0, so PA is 1 per unit. Now this accelerating power makes the rotor to advance like this, and at some angle, let us say critical clearing angle delta C, the fault is cleared by opening the faulted line by circuit breakers. Now once the fault is cleared, this operating point will shift now to the post faulted power angle curve, to here, and since we are taking this as a critical clearing angle, this will swing to the maximum angle, that is delta max. Now maximum angle, it means that there will not be any further stability margin left. Stability margin is equals to 0 now. If we would have opened little bit before the critical clearing angle, then this would have gone to here and it would have swing to somewhat lesser than the delta max, and we would have had a buffer, stability margin buffer, like that. But since we are taking this as a critical clearing angle, this swing is up to the maximum angle, that is called as delta maximum. And what is this delta maximum? How we can find out? If we know this angle delta naught, we can find out this delta maximum equals to pi minus delta naught, which comes to 2.41 radians delta max. Okay, so what is the critical equal area criteria? Say area 1, accelerating area, should be equals to decelerating area for the system to be stable, critically stable. So write down the equations. Accelerating area A1 is equals to 1 into delta CR minus 0.45. This is delta CR and this is 0.45. And decelerating area A2 is equals to integrating. This is the decelerating area. So integral of delta CR to delta maximum 1.5 sine delta minus 1 into d delta. So if you substitute delta max equals to 2.41, so 1.5 sine delta minus 1 into delta integral delta CR to 2.41. Now if you solve this, it comes to minus 1.5 cos delta over delta CR to 2.41 minus 1 into, this is into delta constant na, so delta comes over delta CR to 2.41. So writing delta area 2 is equals to 1 minus 1.5 cos 2.41 minus cos delta CR minus 1 into 2.41 minus delta CR. This is area 2. So simplifying this, you will be getting 1.5 cos delta CR plus delta CR minus 1.293. Now equating area 1 and 2 for critically stable system, so that is 1 into delta CR minus 0.45 is equals to 1.5 cos delta CR plus delta CR minus 1.293. So this is area 2 and this is area 1, equating these two. So we can cancel this delta CR and delta CR on both sides, and now we can calculate cos delta CR is equals to 0.843 divided by 1.5, from which we can calculate delta CR is equals to 55.8 degrees. So it says that the system okay, so this is the 55.8 degrees. So this critical clearing angle is 55.8 degrees. So for a fault at that bus can be delayed till the rotor angle can advance only 55.8 degrees. If the fault clearance is delayed any bit further this angle, then system would have gone to unstable condition. If fault is just removed at this angle, then the system is at the verge of stability or instability. Okay, so if it is, that is, this is 55.8, if it is removed before 55.8, system will always be stable. If it is fault is cleared and after 55.8, then system will go to unstable condition. Okay, so this is called the critical clearing angle, and which says the system's transient stability condition. Thank you.